In today's lesson, we'll be solving equations with variables on each side of the equal sign. This means that there will be an x on the left and an x on the right, or some other variable. To solve for a variable, we always want to finish with the variable on the left and some constant on the right. It will look something like this: x equals some number. We'll use the addition and subtraction property of equality to move terms from one side to the other so that we can combine terms with the same variable and combine constants. We move the variables to the left side and we move the constants to the right side. Here's an example. 3x equals x plus 8. Notice there's an x on the left and an x on the right. We're going to want to move the x from the right-hand side over to the left-hand side. We're going to use the subtraction property of equality to do this. So we subtract x from both sides. When we do that, we have 3x minus x on the left, and that leaves us with 2x. And on the right, the x's cancel out. So we have 2x equals 8. Next, we want to move the coefficient. We want to remove the coefficient next to x so that we know we can isolate x. So we divide by the number next to the variable. 2x divided by 2 leaves us with x, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So when we simplify, we get x equals 4. So first, we move the variables to the left using the subtraction property of equality. Then we solve for x. In this example, we have a variable on the left and a variable on the right. We also have a constant on the left and a constant on the right, so we're going to need to move the variable terms over to the left and the constants to the right. So we draw a line to keep our work organized. We start by moving the x terms, so we subtract the x from both sides, and we have 2x plus 4 on the left, and this equals negative 6. Next, we're going to take the positive 4 and use the subtraction property of equality. We'll subtract 4 from both sides. When we do that, on the left we are left with 2x, and on the right we have negative 10. Now we divide by the number next to the variable, and x equals negative 5. We can also have word problems with variables on each side. This example shows the LA County Fair charges $10 to enter the fair and $1.50 for each ride. The Orange County Fair charges $8 to enter the fair and $2 for each ride. After how many rides is the cost to go to the fair equal for both the LA and Orange County fairs? First, we're going to find our variable. What are we being asked? Notice the words how many rides. Anytime you say how many or what is, and that tells you what your variable will be. So in this case, we're going to let r equal rides. Rides is what we need to figure out. How many rides does each person go on, or does each makes it equal? So here the first example says the LA County Fair charges $10 and $1.50 for each ride. This can be written as 10 plus $1.50 times r. The Orange County Fair charges $8 to enter the fair and $2 each ride. So this can be written as 8 plus 2 times the number of rides that a person goes on. It says how many rides will they go on to make the cost to each fair equal. In that case, we're going to set these two equations equal to each other. 10 plus $1.50 r equal to 8 plus 2 rides. So when we solve for r, we'll find out how many rides will make these two amounts equal. So we set up our equation, we draw our line to keep our work organized. We're going to move the r terms, the variable terms, to the left. So I'll subtract 2r from both sides and get 10 minus 0.5r equals 8. Next, we're going to take our constant and move it to the right side. So we subtract 10 from both sides, and we get negative 0.5r equals negative 2. Then we divide by the number next to the variable. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And negative 2 divided by 0.5 equals 4. Divided by negative 0.5 equals positive 4. So r equals 4 rides. After 4 rides, these two fairs would have the same cost. In summary, when an equation has a variable on both sides of the equal sign, we should combine like terms. In other words, we're going to move the variable terms to the left. We use the subtraction property of equality. We move constant terms to the right using the subtraction property of equality. We then solve the one or two step equation using inverse operations. That's all.